Hey every viewer, it's Everyview. This is a Nintendo Switch, a portable, dockable console that was released on March 3rd of 2017. Inside the box is the console itself, two Joy-Cons, two Joy-Con straps, there's a dock, there's a charger, HDMI cable, and the Switch grip. It's a pretty low-powered console with 1 GHz processor, 4 GB of RAM, 32 GB of internal storage. The screen has a resolution of 1280 by 720, which is a really low resolution in 2019, but you don't really notice the quality when playing games. Underneath the screen there are two speakers and some sort of light sensor, which I've assumed to automatically change the brightness. On the top there's a power button, volume down and up, and then there's a exhaust port for the fan, a headphone jack, and your game card slot. On the back of the console is a kickstand with a microSD card hidden beneath it and the fan intakes. The bottom has a single USB-C charging port that can be used to connect to a bigger screen using the dock. So it comes with a dock that has an HDMI, USB-C, and USB-A port hidden behind the cover in the back, and two external USB-A ports. The Switch just plugs into the dock like this, and you can take out the Switch Joy-Cons and play a game. Finally, the Joy-Cons. These controllers are so innovative, it's just a smack in the face at Apple's lost headphone jacks. Jokes aside, these controllers have so much functionality. It makes games so much better to play. It's not the most comfortable to use, but you can play it with one in each hand, in the Switch grip, with the straps attached, or even just connected to the Switch itself. Or if you actually have friends, then you can do two-player mode, like this. Now let's talk about the Joy-Con buttons. So the right side has the A, B, X, Y buttons, while the left side has circle buttons, but act as a D-pad. They both have joysticks, which feel pretty great in the hand, but sometimes slips when my fingers are wet. There's a capture button on the left side for screenshots and videos, and there's a home button on the right side to, well, go home and to change brightness and volume. There's also the plus and minus buttons, which sort of act like start and select. And then on the back, there's the left and right buttons, or shoulder buttons, and the trigger, which are LZ and RZ. When detached from the main console, they have tiny side buttons that act as shoulder buttons. And then you can attach these Joy-Con straps to give it even larger buttons, but it's a pretty decent idea. It's especially good for when you're doing two-player. Clearly the main part of this console are the Joy-Cons, and that's why I talked about it so much, but they really are deserving. The reason I got the Switch in the first place was for playing on long trips like train rides or for planes, but games on this thing are so fun that I can play it there for days on end without getting bored. Right now I have 4 games: Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. My favorite game right now is Zelda Breath of the Wild because of how great it uses the different capabilities of the Joy-Cons. So you can move it around to actually move things on screen, and it uses every button pretty nicely. You can play it detached or attached in an open world storyline, and it's such an addicting game to play. So the Switch in 2019. The specs are pretty limited. 1 GHz processor, 4 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of storage seem pretty low for a console in 2019, even for a portable device, but surprisingly it's enough for a 720p screen, which is again pretty limited in 2019, even for 2017 when it was released, but then again, it's enough. It has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth capabilities, but sadly it won't allow you to connect a Bluetooth headphone, only the controllers. The battery life is pretty good, 3 hours for heavy games like Zelda, but it can last up to 6. It's enough for a long play session, but if you're traveling and can't recharge it, it doesn't really last real long. So I really love this thing. It's a smart console that's perfect for both single and multiplayer use. It has a super great selection of games and it's something I definitely recommend. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe if you want to see more of my videos.